Kola Olajide, co-founder of Bridge Labs, has made it his mission to change the black narrative of tech in Africa with a team of 20 engineers. Having had 2 startups that have failed in the past, Kola feels more confident about his current business and its business model.
So I remember when my first company, our business model was pretty simple. It was, we would sell hours. We would tell you this is how many hours you're spending on your project. You know, one thing we would make sure is we jointly own the intellectual property. If at any point the client wakes up and says, hey, actually, we want exclusivity on the intellectual property, we would sell it to the client. That was my initial model. But as time, has evolved and I've learned a lot, our model is now a bit different. So our current model is multi-year partnerships, profit share agreements, high risk, high reward. Right, so for most of our projects, we have skin in the game. If our clients become very successful, we become very successful. And if our clients fail, it actually hits us hard. Being an entrepreneur doesn't get easier. There is no point where you think you are at a destination. It's just, I consider it to be an endless journey. Cash flow was a kind of issue at the beginning. Also not because we didn't have access to money. It was more because we wanted paying clients to get our products off the ground. Bridge Labs is what it is today with currently very little external investment. Right, I believe when I bring investors on board to join us on this journey, it should be more about the strategic partnerships and where they can take us, the doors they can open, not about the financial muscle they are bringing to the table. Because we're trying to rewrite the black narrative in tech, we needed the right type of projects to create the necessary exposure for us. And one thing I've learned is, yes, we have some of those projects on the continent, but a lot of them are in more advanced economies. Right, so another thing I spend a lot of my time doing is how do I find the right projects at the right level of difficulty to accelerate the rewrite of this narrative that black talent cannot be at the forefront of tech innovation. Right, so I think that was another element that gave me some sleepless nights, because we could be out there like every other person taking all the basic projects and doing the basic things and still be profitable, but we're not rewriting this narrative. Right, so most of our clients are actually outside the continent. Right, we're taking on some of the really toughest projects outside Africa and exporting our solutions, and hopefully this triggers the next wave of tech investments on the continent. Right, we can become the new India, we can become the new Vietnam when it comes to technology.
Kola continues to try and create an impact in the tech space, whether it be through Bridge Labs or even guest lecturing at the University of Johannesburg. But with such a growth in the space of 3 years, Kola has had some fair share of achievements that pushes him to do better.
The first one was giving 4 offers to top performers at the University of Johannesburg, and all of them joined us. Right, these are top performers that had access by some of the biggest banks or other tech companies, and for me that was a big highlight for me. One, it just created, it made us feel like we're actually doing something right. So that's definitely one of them. The second one was being invited by Stanford to speak at the Africa Business Conference on a panel tag Made in Africa. That meant a lot, right? To go speak at such an environment and share your lessons. Third one was actually the successful digital transformation of our first client, which was doing a couple of hundreds of millions a year. And we did all that with with a team of 5. Another one, which is convincing top companies in the United States to move their projects to Africa. Right, I would say that's a big thing, right? A lot of them don't actually look at us as as a continent that could be delivering technology. Surround yourself with 18 players, right? You can solve the hardest problems without an exceptional team, right? That was the first one. The second one is play according to your strengths, and this is also, of course, connected to the first one. If you find the right team players, you can trust your partners to handle the different phases of the project. So I know I'm a very technical person, right? I focus on the technicalities of the business, making sure we deliver great products to clients. My business partner, co-founder, Musa Kalenga, focuses on making sure we have the right clients on board and making sure the ship is moving, right? So I think those are the main lessons I have learned over my 3 startups.
Next week on Upstarts, we meet up with Lyle Malanda, founder of Malanda Group of Companies, and he talks about the challenges and opportunities of taking a small business offshore.